Are you a survivor? Now, this topic is very important for me, very important for Sigma males, and it's a concept, it's an idea that I wish I had when I was younger. This is the idea of a sort of Sigma male survival guide, and I created this based on some ideas I had recently, where I wanted to give you something that helps you just get through your days, sort of like a 9 or 10 rules you can follow so that you can learn to survive. Because I read many comments recently and noticed that many of you are struggling, you feel lost, misunderstood, and this kind of survival guide is good for you to sort of like a checklist, start checking things off and looking at your life. Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Have I gone through that process? And this is definitely a light version of something I want to work on further. I want to have the number one resource for you, for your own survival, and not just your survival, but for you to thrive as a Sigma male. And I'll definitely be working on this later, building something bigger, some sort of product or something for people who want to work with me, or I'm not quite sure, but I know that this is important. So if you like this video, then that's exciting because there's more stuff to come, definitely, on this topic. So what do I wish that I had when I was 18, before I even knew that I was a Sigma male? Maybe even younger, 16, 14. Right around that age, you start getting sort of self-awareness about who you are. You start building an identity. And I wrote down 9 key pillars for what I wish I knew when I was younger about life, being a man, being a Sigma male. And I'll go through these right now with you. So, number 1, know who you are. Know who you are. And that takes time. So if you're 18, you're 19, and you're worried that you don't know who you are, that's okay. You're still developing who you are. But I think everyone knows on a deep level who they are at a pretty young age, mostly. I thought of this recently during a conversation with a friend when we were talking about what we did when we were younger that made us most happy, and what we do now as adults that makes us happy as well. And he pointed out to me that what I liked when I was younger is also what I like now, what makes me feel the best, what liberates me the most. And it's interesting because I think many people go through that journey where they move really far away from what they liked to do as a kid. And it's unfortunate because a lot of times that is the path to happiness. That's the path to fulfillment, to do that thing that you'd like to do when you're 7 years old or whatever age. So if you know who you are, it's going to help you a lot. And it could be knowing who you are right now. It could be knowing who you were in a time when you were the happiest. Maybe you're in a phase right now in life where you don't know anything about who you are. Maybe you feel so confused that you don't know anything. Maybe you're questioning all beliefs. I've done that. I've been in that phase of my life where I sort of had to relearn almost everything. The second pillar is find your strengths. So this is very similar to number 1. Figure out what you're good at and don't chase things that other people think you should be good at. So I think as much as I sometimes disagree with someone like Gary Vee, he talks about figuring out your strengths and capitalizing that, forgetting your weaknesses. And I think that's important for many of us because there's something about society, there's something about the system that tries to teach us that we need to be well-rounded. Okay, so this guy, he's a little too aggressive or he's ambitious, so he needs to work on his likability, round himself out. This guy's a little too introverted, he needs to become a little extroverted. He needs to be rounded out. This guy's a little too deep. He needs to be more surface level. But really, you're just diluting who you are. You're diluting your strengths, which is what I think a lot of people do. They dilute their strengths by focusing on their weaknesses. The first step is knowing your strengths. The third part, learn to self-protect and create the right kind of boundaries. So for Sigma males, I think that we build walls, and we think that those are boundaries. Boundaries should be like a security checkpoint or a sliding door or whatever analogy you want to use. But it's open to some people, but not everybody. It's open to certain things, but not everything. The door slides closed, the door slides open. Sometimes it stays locked, but walls are different. And as Sigma males, I think that we create walls and we keep everybody out. We keep everything out. We lock ourselves in that wall. And I think one of the keys to really surviving and thriving in this world is knowing that you have to have strong boundaries to protect yourself as a naturally sensitive person or empathetic person or introverted person. You have to protect yourself, but you have to do so in a way that also sheds the armor sometimes. A long time ago, I decided to live my life like a poet. And there's a really great video by Aubrey Marcus, really a serious idol of mine, someone I really, really like. I think he's an amazing human. And I'll link the video in the description. But in this video, he talks about how a poet is different from a warrior. And I think Sigma males are more like poets. And in this video, he talks about how the difference between a warrior and a poet is that a poet knows when to shed his armor. And he's most powerful because he can be vulnerable. He can shed his armor. And I think that's one of the keys to having happiness as a Sigma male. It's knowing when to shed that armor. For some of you, you need to build your armor, and that's different. But you need to find that balance. Number 4, build your confidence pyramid. As a Sigma male, you might not have the highest confidence. You're starting at a sort of backtrack place of confidence, starting at a disadvantage, many of you. So in another video, I mentioned my confidence pyramid, and this is something I created because I had to get my own self out of a very insecure, weird, weak place. And knowing this confidence pyramid, how you have to go from basically the past to the future to develop your confidence is very important. And I will link that video as well, and we can expand on that. It's a very important topic, but know that confidence is one of your keys to survival. Self-esteem is everything. And you maybe having been given all the tools to have self-esteem, it's a very undefined point of research. Nobody really knows it. They know what it looks like. They don't know how to teach it. It's very complicated. So the point is you need to know how to get it and how to have it, because it's one of the pillars to really being happy as a Sigma male. Sigma males without confidence are dangerous and reckless and harmful to themselves because of the way that we're already misunderstood and pushed to the side of society. So number 5 is very similar, and it's sort of the extension of when you don't have confidence. Number 5, accept and befriend your dark side. So your dark side is always there, even if you have confidence. Humans always have a dark side. It's sort of that powerful place that we could go to in emergencies. It's that thing that we tap into. It's the thing that really has helped us evolve into who we are, carry our lineage for a long time. But that dark side is still with us to this day. And if you deny the dark side, the shadow self, then you're denying who you are, and you're going to be in sort of incongruence with who you are. And I think as introverted men of Sigma spirit, you have to really meet that dark side, meet that shadow self, and come to peace with it. Number 6, be honest with the world and yourself about what you need, want, and what you deserve. Be honest with yourself about what you want, need, and deserve. So that's very powerful, because not many people express what they want. And an example of this is in my own life. I still struggle with this, but it's something I've noticed and I have to work on all the time. It goes back to that question I always ask. What do I want? And who am I? Who am I? What do I want? So a friend and I were in a massage place and we were getting massages, and they started playing music in the massage parlor, except the speaker was broken. So it kept cutting in and out like, and it was really not what you want to listen to when you're getting a massage. And so I was thinking for a good 3 minutes that I was not happy. I was annoyed by this, and it's not the kind of ambiance you want at a massage parlor. So for 3 minutes I sat there and I had to ask myself, what do I want? What do I want? Come on, what do you want? Stop hiding what you want. What do you need? You're a paying customer. What do you need? Why is it so hard to express what you want and what you need? And then finally, what do you deserve? And when you believe that you deserve to have a nice, normal, quiet, peaceful massage, then you're allowed to say things like, excuse me, can you turn off the music? It's very distracting and your speaker's broken, so it's not making my life any better. And it was hard for me to say that because it's hard to express our needs. But I'm in this process of being honest with what I want, what I need, and what I deserve. And ultimately, I think that's one of the keys to being happy as a man, being happy as a Sigma male, and also not forgetting what makes you happy. So the seventh pillar is have a purpose, and make that purpose your God. Having a purpose is very important for men. And when you make it your God, you make it this sort of being that's bigger than you, it does powerful things for you. And you need to not just have a purpose, but you need to create it to be this thing that you respect, that you admire, that you never let down, and you would never want to face its judgment. Something that's bigger than you. Something so big, your purpose is, that when you miss a day, you have one of those zero-sum days where you don't do anything on your dream, you don't add any value to your dream, then you feel this nagging feeling within you that you disappointed something. You disappointed something much bigger than yourself. Not your parents, not your teacher, not your friend, not even you. It's this huge thing, this huge purpose that you have disappointed. Number 8, this might be controversial, but befriend all manner of people, including and especially other Sigma males. So I'll start with the Sigma male part first. It requires more effort to befriend other Sigma males. And I don't have to explain why. You know why it's harder for two introverts to become friends. But the first part is also very important. Befriending all different kinds of people. Because I think it gives you a sort of experience and expands your comfort zone in a way that's going to help you ultimately be happier. And I think it's always better to be an introvert by choice. To know who you are and say, yeah, I've learned to expand who I am and enjoy extroverted activities, but I choose to be introverted. It's always more helpful to know you have the skill and choose to do something you don't want to do, or you choose to do something you would rather do than not being able to do something. And I think that's important with meeting people, being more extroverted. And you can still have friends and be introverted. Those two aren't different. Remember, as I always say, introversion is not a social disorder. Number 9, the last part, one of the most important and one of the most difficult. Learn to wake up and be a character who exists as a beacon for others who want to wake up. So, in your Sigma male journey, you've woken up, or you're in the process of waking up. However that may look, it might not look like Neo in the Matrix. You might not be able to fly, and it might not be being woke like people talk about in society now. It might not be whatever people ascribe spiritual awakenings to. it looks different for everyone. But now, once you're awake, it's always fun to help other people wake up, to be that sort of beacon, not to force your ideals on someone, but to know, to have that ability to look at someone and be like, this guy is either awake already or he's ready to wake up, and I'm going to be his friend, and I'm going to help him see that he is also a Sigma male, or he is also a empath or a highly sensitive person, and he wants to wake up as well. And I feel like we hide sometimes from a bigger purpose. And one of our purposes is, as Sigma males, is to wake others up. That's how I feel about my life. My life is here to impact others, to wake them up. And I ultimately think that that is an optional pillar, because not everybody has to do that. But I think many of you will try to do it. And I see this in the comments. Communication between other Sigma males, and love and respect for your fellow Sigma male, and a lot of excitement to meet other Sigma males. And I think this tells me one thing, that you guys do want to wake others up, and you do want to be part of a brotherhood, community, whatever it is. So my question to you, what's your most powerful survival skill as a Sigma male? Which one of these did you like? Which one of these are you struggling with? Which one of these is going to help you the most? And which one ultimately do you feel like you need to work on right now? So let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. This has been Sigma Spirit, talking about survival, thrival. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and be good.